Well, hello, April Hurley. How are you?
I'm doing good, Kim. How are you?
I am good. So I want to introduce everyone. April Hurley with MS Lending. You are a mortgage broker in Mississippi.
Correct.
Correct.
Mhm.
And tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am originally from Panama City Beach, Florida. I know I get the question all the time, how did you end up in Mississippi? It's a long story, but I have lived in Mississippi almost as long as I have Florida. I love it here. It's a great place to raise a family. We're very local, community based. I did start my mortgage career early in Panama City, though, actually 24 years ago,
Oh,
right out
wow.
of high school. Yeah. So I'm a beach girl at heart. I always love Florida, but I love being here in Mississippi. I really do.
Nice. And tell me, how long have you lived in Mississippi?
Since 2005.
Okay, wow. So a long
Yeah.
time.
Yes, a long time.
Do you have family still in Florida?
I do. I do. I actually have families scattered all over. I actually don't have any here locally in Mississippi except Hattiesburg,
Oh,
which is about an hour and a half from here. But I have family in Fairhope, Alabama, and still in Panama City.
I
So
love it.
yes, I love to go visit the beach.
Of
And
course.
yes.
Are you near a beach in Mississippi where you're at?
So we are about 3 hours from the coast,
Okay.
but it's not the same beaches as Florida beaches.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the coast people mainly go to gamble and hit the casinos and got a lot of good restaurants and things like that, but not really to go lay on the beach.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So I loved that you and I talked, and I loved that we were connected to do this podcast because I feel that we are very similar in how we approach our business.
Yes.
That is very community based.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me a little bit about that, about your view on that.
So I was first introduced to Women's Mortgage Network. I think it was the first year it was in Vegas for AIME Fuse. And one of my best friends I work with, Julian Stewart, she went to Irvine. And she came back that year and said, April, you've got to go next year. You just have to go. And I said, well, it's Vegas. So you don't have to convince me.
Right.
So I went to Vegas and I remember walking into this room of, I don't even remember how many women were there. I was just blown away. We didn't have anything like that here in Mississippi. And I'm one of those girls, I'm going to sit on the front pew at church. I cannot sit in the back. And so I looked at Julian and I said, we're going straight to a table at the front. And those women at that table were so supportive and loving. And I mean, I still stay in contact with all of them today. And the women that spoke on the panel, Laura and Ashley Miller, I was just blown away about how vulnerable they were, not just in our business, but in personal life too. Sure. And so I just immediately felt this sense of belonging and support. And that's really important in our industry. Yeah. You know, I know this isn't everywhere, but here it's more male dominated. And so we didn't have anything like that here. And so the second year went back, and I think Julian on the plane ride home said, we've got to start something locally in Mississippi.
Oh, I love it.
And so Michelle Dugan's also one of our best friends. We weren't working with her at the time, and we called Michelle and she said, I'm on board. And we met, the three of us, at each other's house, and we made goals for what we wanted for a local group. And that was 3.5 years ago. Wow. And yeah, so we really have grown our group locally here. We even have t-shirts.
Okay. Now, is it just mortgage women, or are there other?
Just mortgage women, but it doesn't matter if you're in retail or wholesale.
Right.
You are welcome. And where we are, there's not a lot of mortgage brokers.
Okay.
Other than the three of us and one other amazing woman that owns her own company, it's more retail. Yeah. And I was on retail side at one point, and I didn't really feel like I had the support as much as I do on the broker side. And so it's so rewarding to see these women come from these banks they work at and get the love and support that we have. We actually met last week, and we literally just sat around a table and shared our weaknesses, our strengths, what we wanted to work on this year, our goals, not just in our professional lives, but personal lives. We meet once a month. We may volunteer one month. We've done
nice.
for humanity a few times, and for another local organization that helps with homeless people and people that are living below a poverty level. And then sometimes we just have a happy hour.
Yeah, fun.
We need to cry, vent, stress, so we do meet once a month, and we take turns with the lunch and learn education, things like that.
And so what's the name of your local group?
Mortgage Women of Mississippi.
Nice. Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now, were you guys friends before you started this? You said you're one of your best friends, but were you and Michelle and anybody else in the group?
So Michelle and I actually go way back. We worked together for, so I worked for a local bank here for 9 years.
Oh, okay.
And when I went into the broker side, I actually went to a company she was working at the time. So Michelle and I met, and then Michelle and Julene had met through Junior Auxiliary here. Okay. And then Julene and I worked for the same mortgage company. So the three of us, like Julene and I go back 10, 11 years. Michelle and I do too. But for the three of us to finally end up in the same company together, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, to work with your best friends every day, we pretty much come in the office every day. I could not imagine doing this job without them.
No.
And I
love that.
Blessed. Yes.
Now, were you at the WMN summit this past year at Fuse?
Yes. Worth the entire trip.
Okay.
Yes. Worth the entire trip. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yes.
We worked hard on that one. So I'm glad.
It probably has been my favorite one yet. And I've been to 5 in a row.
Okay. So, what did you like about that? And what versus the other ones, or would you like to see more of?
So the 3 that were in Vegas were amazing. And then, we ended up in New Orleans the year before last. And again, they're all amazing. The thing that really stood out to me this past year was the vulnerability, the speakers, and just, handwriting notes to our future selves. And I cried. I think everybody cried at some point. It was just, especially with the industry being as hard as it's been the past 2 or 3 years, just having that support, it's mind-blowing. It really is. Yeah.
Have you joined one of the masterminds that we have from there?
I have not. Okay. Julene and Michelle have, but that is definitely on my to-do list.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we actually are going to start posting it, because we had our separated groups, right? And they were by tables, and then some tables joined with other tables, that kind of stuff. But then we realized today, we had a meeting this morning, and we realized today that there's people that maybe weren't there or just didn't join at that time, but would be interested now.
Yes.
So we're going to start posting on Facebook, like, hey, we're having our group meeting. We're having our mastermind in an hour or something. So you don't have to be in a certain one. You can jump on any of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have joined the book club. I'm excited for that.
Cool.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. Yes, I started reading the book. It's amazing. Good. It's just the little things like that make such a difference. And why, I love this group, and it is nationwide, and I feel so much support, but the local part of it too, for us, sometimes you need a hug, sometimes you need face-to-face interaction. And so us growing our local group from this group, it's awesome.
I think it's really neat. Women business owners, or self-employed. I mean, whether you own your brokerage or not, you're still self-employed. And I think that it's really unique. I think I told you that I have a group here. I'm in Erie, Colorado, which is right outside of Boulder. And we have a women's group, and they're all business owners. So it's not just mortgage. There's actually quite a few real estate agents, but everybody is self-employed. And there's 40 of us, and we're in year 7. What's cool is it didn't start off as like, oh, this is a leads group, because I don't think that we need more leads groups, right? Yes. What happens is you need camaraderie, and you need friendship, really, right? Because when you're self-employed, then it gets very singular and lonely.
Yes.
And so we need that. So we do the same thing. I'm a part of group here. It's not just mortgages, but like I said, it just feels good that, I think sometimes, like, if you have a lunch date with one of your friends or something, and you have to cancel it, and, they might get upset or something. But like when it's with someone that owns their own business, they fully understand and have, empathy and compassion for you and don't hold you. And so like, that's nice to have.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. As much as our families love us, they still don't understand what we go through. And so to have that support, it's a must, honestly, especially in this industry. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think also I'm really happy to hear this about WMN. We, we're working really hard to keep people connected. I feel like that was the biggest thing out of all the years I would go. I would, sometimes meet new people. The year before, like I loved sitting at the tables, if you remember, and we were like, doing our little activity. And that was awesome. But then you left, and then it was like, you might not see that person again. And so I think that it's really important to continue that community outside of just a singular event.
Yes. And I do agree. I try to do a really good job. Facebook is amazing for these things. Sure. The women that I met that first year sat at my table. I try to reach out to them. I see them at future events, but just it's the little things that, going and looking at their Facebook page and their daughter's graduating and making sure that you comment and say congratulations and just, keep those relationships always. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me why we talked, like I said, we talked a little bit about this and both of us are very active in our communities in terms of business. So, what do you, what makes you stand out, do you think, or what type of things do you do in your community that you think are really important?
Yes. So I have always been very supportive of our local businesses. If I'm going to ask for business, I want to support your local business. That's how our communities thrive. And so a couple of years ago, my daughter now, she's 14, but when she was 12, I started picking one local business a week. And I would take her, let's say, a coffee shop. And we would get coffee and I would do a fun little TikTok with her and I would post it on all my social media platforms and tag that business. Just doing little things like that shows that you care and it comes back to you. I firmly believe in this business, if you don't chase the money and you chase helping others, and remember, we're in this position to help others and help our community grow, you're going to be successful. It's going to come back to you. So that was one thing I started doing, and just being involved in local events, your chambers, go to a ribbon cutting, show that you care about this new business that's locally owned, that's going to help your community. We at MS Lending, we really, really try to take care of our referral partners. We just, we hosted a bingo night for all of our agents a couple months ago. And it was so fun that we actually did one last week for our paralegals.
Oh, fun.
They don't get a lot of recognition. They're behind the scenes and they had an absolute blast. So just little things like that. And Julian really is our mastermind. I have to give her credit for a lot of this because she brainstorms all these amazing ideas. But we really just try to take care of our local referral partners. I know a lot of loan officers don't like to deal with realtors directly, but some of my real estate agents are my best friends.
Sure.
I mean, it's more fun doing a deal with them because we're there to support each other. And so I really do try to, just spend time with them, educate them, make them feel, like they're just a part of all of this as I am. So local, to answer your question, it's just those little local things, care about your community, get out in your community, help your local businesses, just things like that. It really makes a difference.
I agree. And I think sometimes, we are obviously in a male dominated field, although we're 47% now as women. So we were making big, we're making big strides.
We are.
So, but, instinctively, I think sales in general tends to be more male dominated, no matter what that is.
I agree.
And so I think what puts us, though, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this, what puts women at the advantage is that we can connect on a connection level with people that I think sometimes men struggle with. So maybe they grind harder, right? Because they're fine picking up the call and just dialing, right? And women, we just inherently don't feel that. And so, I'm curious what you think about that.
I agree with you 100%. I think men are better at cold calling. They aren't scared to pick up the phone and cold call. I hate cold calling.
Yes.
I hate begging someone for business. I think as women, we are more emotional, based than they are. I mean, nothing against men that are watching this, but I do feel like as women, and we're also balancing our families and, all of this other stuff, that I do feel like we do a better job of that emotional connection, if that makes sense.
I feel that, one of the things over the last couple of months that my coach has been working with me on is finding the joys that you have, right? And focusing on that. So often we're in a coaching program or we're on a call or a training, anything. And it is more of the grind mentality of like, make more phone calls, do more. Even if it's things that you hate doing. Yes. And I've been doing this for 25 years, like you, right? So my coach had to really kind of, decompose me almost and say, okay, let's come up with the list of things that you actually enjoy doing. Who cares about all the things that you should or you need to? Let's look at the things that you enjoy doing, because if you are doing the things that bring you joy, then not only does the business come, but the business comes because you're a bright light and people are attracted to that.
Yes.
Is that what you find?
Yes. In fact, my word for this year was intentional, or is intentional. And I've always been that woman. It's hard to say no to things. And last year I realized I've got too much on my plate. I've got to start saying no to some things. And you're right. When you sit down and you really think about the things that bring you joy, you're going to be more successful, not just in your job, but in your relationships, your friendships, everything. Yeah. And so that was really hard for me to do this year. I had to step down off a lot and just really pick one or two things I want to be passionate about. And so, I totally agree with you.
What are those one or two things?
So my daughter's 14 and she's been doing dance since she was 3.
Nice.
She does ballet. She's to the point where she's on point.
Oh, wow.
And then she does dance team. Here in Mississippi, dance team is like a big deal. It's bigger than cheerleading.
Okay.
And so between dance team for school and ballet, she's got one free night a week.
Wow.
And so I'm her personal Uber driver.
Okay, right.
Yeah. And she's got more of a social life than I do.
Yeah, of course.
So she really does take up a lot of my time. I am really going to focus on, and I know this sounds crazy, but just take more me time, reading, exercising, just getting back more to me and what are the things that I love that make me me. I'm a very outside person. I love to kayak. I love to be on the water. It's my healing place. I love music. I love going to concerts.
Nice.
So I know it sounds selfish, but I'm getting back to me this year. I
don't think that's selfish, because like we always hear, you can't feed from a dry well. And so the more that you take care of yourself, the more that you are able to take care of others. If you're depleted, then you don't have the energy in that.
I looked through my planner last year, and I think between the chamber and church and my daughter and everything, I was on like 5 or 6 different committees, and I was neglecting myself. And so I finally just had to sit down and say, my daughter has to come first. I can't put her stuff off until she starts driving. And so I am going to stay on a committee to help an organization called We Will Go. And it helps homeless people feed them and clothe them. It's a big organization here, and they do a big lunch every year. So I am going to stay on the committee for that. And actually going to a meeting next week on human trafficking. I have yeah, I have a lot of passion to help there as well. So I'm, like you said, I'm finding the things that find me joy and purpose, and I'm really going to explore those. And just my job too, you know, and helping others. I never want my clients or agents to feel like they're on the back burner.
Sure.
And when you overload yourself, that's what happens.
I mean, you don't have any more to give. That's
right.
exactly what happens.
Right. We're one person.
Yeah. And people feel it. And, you know, one thing that my coach said that like I play in my head all the time, so maybe you will too, is when you're at a point where you're like questioning or like, I should be doing, like we do a lot of shoulding, right? Like I should be. And then it's like, but people can feel that, right? So whether you're face to face or whether you're over the phone, if you listen, we all need to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. But I think when it comes to, building relationships, then put yourself in the environments and put yourself around the people that you want to be around, not just because you think you have to, not being on the PTA because you have to, either being on it because you actually enjoy it or don't. Right. Yeah. And I think that's like a hard thing for women to do in general.
It is. It's hard for us to say no because we want to be people pleasers and we want to make everyone happy and we want to give. And it is really hard to say no sometimes, but I'm learning and this is a big year for me. So
good.
Yes, I'm anxious to reevaluate how I did at the end of the year.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about how WMN planted the seed for your leadership through the through the places in Vegas, through the summits in Vegas.
Yeah.
So just curious, like if you could, create or add or change anything on this particular platform, what would you say?
The one nationwide or locally? Nationwide. That's a really hard question because y'all are already doing such an amazing job between the Facebook and now the book club and the events. I would love to see more events maybe throughout the year. I would definitely come to them. Like I said, the one-on-one connection just builds those relationships even stronger. I know it's hard for everyone to travel and everyone's busy and things like that, but I really would love to see some more events all around.
So we actually have 3 this year.
Okay.
Yep. So we are going to do at UWM Live, which they haven't rolled it out yet, but it's normally like the beginning of May. They haven't told us when it is, but we're actually going to do a full summit there, kind of like how we do at Fuse the day before. We're going to do that at UWM Live. And we have capacity for about 400 ladies.
That's awesome.
And we'll have some speakers and we're working on the, who we want to have on panels and things like that. Then, of course, we have Fuse again. And we're already planning for that. And that is going to be, I believe, this 3rd week of September.
In Texas, right? It's in Texas.
It's in Austin. Yeah. It's going to be in Austin this year.
Yeah.
And then a month after that, we are rolling out for the first time a wellness retreat event with WMN.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And so that will be in Scottsdale. And so it will be a variety of things, not just wellness, but it will be business mixed with wellness and how we can combine them. And we'll have like lots of really cool breakouts where you can learn about hormones, or you can learn about, how to cook healthy for your family. And you can learn about how you can, alter your mornings to suit your day, like all different kinds of things. Right?
I love that. I absolutely love that. We actually went to another local women's lunch a couple days ago here that another one of our friends does. And she had a speaker that spoke on time management.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing just where are you wasting your time?
Right.
Scrolling through social media, Netflix and Hulu, and how you can better prioritize your time and, you've really got to decide what's most important in your life, and the rest follows. And so that wellness retreat sounds amazing. I will definitely be there.
So Soulful Success Summit is what we're calling it.
Okay. I love it.
And that's what it is, right? So it's like, we're going to start off with, truthfully, something like the Miracle Morning, which ironically, I've been following the Miracle Morning for as long as it's been out. Like, as soon as Hal Elrod wrote that book, and that was life-changing. He is actually going to be at the VIP in Puerto Rico too, right? So I'm like, this is amazing. But we'll start off this summit with us creating that space, like, what does your morning look like? Not everyone is the same. And I always think about my best friend, who is also a real estate agent. She lives on a farm. She literally has 6 children, and she lives on a farm. And I'm like, and I don't live on a farm, and I have one. And he's now in college, right? So I'm like, clearly my morning will look different than hers. It's not a one size fits all.
Right.
And so we'll start off creating, like, what can you do to start off your day? In which way, right? What can you do before the kids are up? What can you do after you drop them off? That kind of stuff. And so we're really excited. So hopefully that makes you happy. 3 instead of just 1.
Yes, I love that. I will definitely be there for that.
Good. Yeah. Well, do you have anything else that you want to add about, anything in your community that we should know?
Just really thank Women's Mortgage Network for everything y'all have done for me over the past several years. I definitely feel love and support from this organization, and it really inspired us to do that here for other people. If you are a woman struggling in this industry, I know it can get lonely, especially if you're, in a male-dominated place, or you don't have a local group. Start a local group. Just call someone and say, hey, let's go to coffee, or let's go to lunch. You would be surprised how many people need that. And you can just, don't be scared. Just get out there and do it. And you will meet some amazing women. And just focus on your local community. If, like I said in the beginning, and I firmly believe this, that we're lucky to be in this position to help others. It is a blessing. Not everyone gets to do this. And so if you remember that, and you lead this job with your heart, and you truly care about everyone involved in your community, you're going to be successful. It's going to come back to you.
I agree. And honestly, success is not just monetarily, right? You're going to be successful because you're going to have positive, empowering relationships. And so that's success.
Yes. I agree.
Well, it was great talking to you, April.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to do this. So
I'm so happy. You did a great job. And I love, your viewpoint on this. And I think that it's what we need out there. And so you just keep spreading that love.
I am. And I can't wait to see you again.
I know, you too. Thanks, April.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.